We begin with the latest developments following the arrest in that major Pentagon intelligence leak.
That's right. 21-year-old Air National Guardsman Jack Teixeira was arrested just yesterday. He's suspected of leaking those classified documents online, and he'll make his first court appearance today. Teixeira was arrested at his home in Massachusetts yesterday by heavily armed FBI agents without incident. Take a look.
The Justice Department arrested Jack Douglas Teixeira in connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information.
Teixeira's arrest comes after the leaked documents raised alarm bells within the Biden administration and among lawmakers and key allies. The sensitive materials potentially including hundreds of pages of intelligence about Russian efforts in Ukraine and spying efforts on U.S. allies. NBC News Justice Intelligence correspondent Ken Dilanian joins us now for details on all of this. Ken, good morning. So this is big. It's been likened to the Pentagon Papers with Daniel Ellsberg and Edward Snowden's WikiLeaks efforts. Both of those incidents, some say, were driven by specific political agendas. But in this case, Ken, do we know the motive of the suspect? What might that be?
Zinkley, good morning. It does appear that the biggest and most serious leak in a decade is the result of a young man who simply wanted to impress his friends. That's what we're hearing from friends and associates of Jack Teixeira, who were involved in this chat room where he was posting these classified documents for more than a year. They're saying that he didn't do this to harm an adversary. He didn't do this to blow the whistle. They say that he was very much a loyal and patriotic member of the military, although one with extremist and potentially far-right views, but that he was sharing this material to give these younger people an idea of what war was like and to impress them. We've really never seen anything like this in the pantheon of these major leaks. But this has had enormous significance, and he's now facing extremely serious charges. You saw those heavily armed FBI agents arrest him wearing tactical gear. That's because he's known to have weapons, and they were not taking any chances there. And it shows you the seriousness of this case.
And Ken, we know these documents are said to have been on the social platform Discord for quite some time. Do we have any insight into the scope and scale of these leaks?
We do, actually. According to Teixeira's associates, again, talking to journalists, there were about 300 or so classified documents that he posted, all told. NBC News has seen about 53 of those. Other outlets have approximately 100. So it isn't so much the volume, which doesn't compare to what Edward Snowden did, for example. It's the significance and the recentness of these documents. Some as recent as just a few weeks ago, offering snapshots of, for example, the vulnerabilities in Ukraine's air defenses, and very embarrassing revelations that the United States is spying on allies, and even worse for the people I'm talking to inside the intelligence community, exposing the fact that the U.S. has thoroughly penetrated all levels of the Russian government and military with communications intercepts. And why that's so significant is once that's exposed, it's believed that the Russians will simply change how they communicate, and a lot of that intelligence will go away. So a big loss for U.S. national security.
For sure. I mean, Ken, what kind of charges could Teixeira be facing when he makes his first court appearance today?
There are a number of possible charges involving the mishandling of classified information, but the comments of Attorney General Merrick Garland yesterday made it pretty clear that this is an Espionage Act case. That's the most serious statute from 1917 that can be applied to people who disclose classified information. And the worst parts of it, the parts where the motive is to harm the United States, can carry the death penalty. Other parts of it, for just merely feloniously disclosing national defense information, carry a penalty of 10 or 20 years in prison. And in fact, the Espionage Act is one of the statutes cited in the warrant that the FBI used to search Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump's compound. This is a much different case, and Jack Teixeira is facing a very, very serious set of charges.
Definitely all eyes on this case. Ken Dilanian, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.